to start recording there, right there. It says it right down there, see? Yeah, see? Holy crap. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. And welcome, new subscribers. I was gone camping over the 4th of July weekend. I mean, playing a survival game in real life is what I was doing over the weekend. I'll explain. That's why I'm here. I don't have to explain, but I'm going to. Anyway, welcome, new subscribers. I was gone for 3 nights. Yeah. Well, most of 3 nights. Because I'll explain that. So anyway, I noticed I got to 1,790 subscribers, something like that. Cool. Appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 2,000. That's the word. Don't forget. Anyway, I just got out of the rain locker. It's in there. It's in that, behind that door right there. Anyway, so the camping weekend, the 4th of July weekend, great camping trip, right? Go out to the country, to a lake, relax, no fireworks to be heard. Sheila and Dingo, okie dokie, right? So Friday, we start getting ready to go. We can't check into the campsite until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we get all our clothes loaded up, we get our food loaded up. I'm just going to leave the beer that I have at home. We'll just buy 3 new cases of beer on the way out there, right? 3 days. Friday drinking, Saturday drinking, Sunday drinking. And I'll have extra beer to bring home. Won't have to make a beer run right away when we get home. Good, good, good. So we get all that done, we get the bed made, we grab the pillows, 3 gallons of drinking water for the puppies, 2 gallons of drinking water for us to use. Everything's loaded up, right? Yeah, and I did that Don't Sleep with the Fishes, my last video. Just waiting for that to upload to YouTube to here. And then off the road we went, and it was like 2:35. We're going to stop at the Walmart out off 90 there, main drag, 2-lane highway. Sometimes it's 3-lane, but actually sometimes it's 4-lane. But it's 3-lane when we got to the Walmart. Well, I'll get to that too here. So, la la tra la, doggies are in the van, in the motorhome, and off we go, traipsing all the way across the parking lot. We get beer and we get some other supplies that we was going to do. Some cookies. I got me some lemon cookies. Oh, they're so good. And some snack chips and stuff like that, etc., etc. We get loaded up with a little handful of shit. Back all the way across the parking lot we go. So we open the motorhome door, and the door is facing the highway right there, see? And I'm handing things in to LAG the mama, who's inside. And for some stupid reason, Sheila breaks through the line, runs down the stairs past LAG the mama and me, starts charging towards the heavy traffic. I screamed at her, Sheila, no, and she turned and she bolted behind the motorhome and started heading towards the busy parking lot of the Taco Bell. And I screamed, Sheila, Sheila, no, stop, come here, damn it, you know. And LAG the mama bolts out the door too, and I went around the other side, around the front of the motorhome. LAG the mama went back, you know, on the door side of the motorhome. And she comes sprinting around the Taco Bell sign and starts heading to the busy cross traffic of the main parking lot. And I seen, Sheila, what the hell are you doing? And she looked and she saw me. And she did her little, I'm sorry, you know, crouched down like this here shit. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And she came over to me. And I said, that's bad. What are you doing, little one? So I got her by the collar, and she stood up with me. I said, come on, stand up. And she got up off the ground, stood up. And so I'm walking her back up around the motorhome, and around the front of the motorhome, to go back around and put her back up in the door, you know? Because my door was locked. My driver's door was locked, or I just made her jump up in there. So I step on something effing slippery, some kind of snot and slime, I'm going down. Right into the front fender. Bam! Knocked the side of my brain cavity group off of the front fender and tire. So I'm down. While I'm going down, Sheila does like that because I'm going forward and she doesn't want to go with me. So she does this and puts on the donkey brakes. I yank the collar right off of her head. Off she goes again. I said, Sheila, no! And about that time, LAG the mama had just come to around the back side of the motorhome, and Sheila went to make the turn. LA mama with the grab right by the scruff of her little neck like that, see? So she walks her back up, throws her in the motorhome, slams the door shut. I still have 2 cases of beer in the cart we have to unload. So I quickly hurry it up. She gets in, kicks the dog's asses around and stuff. I throw the 2 cases on the stairs, and she grabs them and sets them up by the below the refrigerator. And so there's that. Oh, to boot, when we got ready to leave from home, we're ready to pull out and drive. Here we go. We're going camping. Tra-la-la. Click, 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 click. Dead battery. Had to go get the jumper pack from in here actually, right there. Had to get the jumper pack, go out and jump start the damn thing. So I threw the jumper pack above my seat and in the storage cab above my cabinet area above my seat, the little cove up there. And that's when the Walmart thing happened. And we pull out of Walmart, we're waiting at the light changes, and I make my right turn, and we're heading out, and I get first gear, second gear, third gear, overdrive with a hook. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Now we're going to have transmission trouble, huh? Great. You know, it's 46 miles to the damn campground. So I'm like, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. So we stopped at the next light because it was red. You have to do that. It's against the law to just go through them. Anyway, we stopped at the next light and we go to take off. I got either one or both rear brakes are dragging now. So it's going first gear, second gear, third gear, and then overdrive. And so I finally pumped it up to speed. And it hasn't been driven in forever, so I figured, oh, you drive the shit out of them. The brakes will let go. They just got to self-clear themselves again. They've got dirt and grime on them against the brake drums in the back and the calipers in the front, and the calipers, the rotors, all in front. So I keep driving. We head on out towards the campground, and everything kind of smooths out, except for on a hill. When it wanted to shift into overdrive, the clutch would slip. Or turn overdrive off to go back into third gear, out of fourth gear. It would downshift and then the clutch would slip, and I'd be like, son of a bitch. So I just had to hit them. They weren't steep hills. We live in Florida. A hill is, I don't know, here's flat, like this. A hill in Florida is like this. That's a hill. Just a little incline. Thank you, Chapstick, for rolling across the F and floor. It's been a great weekend, by the way. And it's still going on today, as you can see. Anyhow, we managed to get out there, and we're within like a mile and a half, right, of the campground. We're following the phone GPS to tell us which one to turn to go to Carrick Lake North is the campground we park at. We go to. There's a Carrick Lake South and a Carrick Lake North. So anyway, we haul ass and we're out there. So we get close, and the damn GPS is like, in 600 feet, turn right. And as I'm passing a Carrick Lake North sign, and I'm like, shouldn't that be the... And LG the mom was like, she says keep going 600 feet. So I went 600 feet more. There ain't a damn thing there. Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. Not a goddamn nothing. Except a little bitty, section of a little bitty town. A couple of businesses, like, this ain't right. There's no effing way that this is right. Because then all of a sudden it said, turn here. And I was like, but there's It's a damn gate with a stop sign on it there, you know. So I went to turn around. I said, screw this. I'm turning around. I hit luckily there was like a road, a little street, and a business with a big parking lot area, kind of sidewalk, parking lot, street, flat ground. So I turned around there. I did like a 3-point turn, turned around, make my right turn. I'm heading back, and I said, screw you. I'm going to turn where that damn sign was. And I think that's where we should have been, but this stupid phone is telling us not. Start driving back. All of a sudden, the damn phone's LAG the mom. Turn right at this next turn right here. Or left. Turn left. Right here at this next little dirt road. And I'm like, I don't recall the road being dirt. But the damn phone said to, so we turned. And it says, follow this for 2.6 miles or something like that. All right, then. Or 1.6 miles. I think it was 2.6 miles. And we're four-wheeling now. We're off in four-wheel drive terrain, and I don't have a four-wheel drive. Motorhome don't. Just a big 1-ton chassis. It's 12,600 pounds. Driving through wet sand and water and mud and stuff. So here we're driving along nice and smooth like this. Pots and pans flying. Refrigerator door flies open. Dogs are damn bouncing off the ceiling and shit. So 2 miles of that, it turns out that was just a fire break for the forest department. We're not really supposed to use that. So anyway, we finally break out onto the road that it was supposed to be, which was where that effing sign was that said Carrick Lake North. Turn here. You know, the big state park sign. So now the motorhome that we just power washed the day before is just the whole bottom end of it looks like it went four-wheeling. It's got mud splashed. The tires are all just caked in wet sand and snot. The bottom half of the motorhome for about 2 feet up, and the rear is all caked up and stuff. So now it doesn't look all that great, you know. And so we finally get to the campground. There it is. Thank God. The nightmare is over. So we get backed in. I back in perfectly. 1 shot, 1 kill. Back up into the parking spot. And I hook up and go out and hook up the water and the electricity. There's no sewer there. There's a dump station on your way out. We have a dump station here that I put in, so I don't care about that. So we're all hooked up. It is hot as an elephant's balls in Africa on a hot day. There's a little bit of a breeze, and it's 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, we're in a fiberglass box. It's 164 square feet. No, 264 square feet. I think total, including useless space you can't use. No, it's not. It is. It's about 264 square feet, something like that. Total. That including, like I said, including space that's unusable. Anyway, oh God. LEG goes to walk the puppies, okay, and let them piss and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I bled out water lines, the cold water lines and whatnot. Figured I'll get to the hot water lines and bleed them out a little bit when I need to do dishes and need to fire up the hot water heater. So anyway, LAG gets back and she tells me, I went out to get something real quick, and she came back and she says, all I'm getting is like air, little spits of water and air coming out of the hot water line. I said, damn it, did I shut that hot water drain valve? It's just like a radiator petcock thing. You just spin it like this clockwise and it shuts, and if you turn it, the hole starts blowing water, right? So I'm like, okay. Well, she went, no, that's when she went to walk the dogs. I was outside and she was bleeding water lines and she told me about it. Then she went to walk the dogs. That's right, because she went out to walk the dogs, and I thought, well, I'll just go out there and check this, hot water heater. We got a little 2.5 gallon hot water heater under the sink. Came with, its factory, but it works. So anyway, the kitchen sink. I go out there and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to turn it to the left, opening just to see, if I get just a little bit of water out of it, then I'll just, if it's not, then I'll just twist it back to the right and shut it. I touched that thing, just a little bit of pressure like this, like that there, and the damn thing was open. It was just plugged with a little bit of rust. And that son of a bitch cut loose, whoosh, like a fire hydrant. I know a thing or two about fire hydrants. I've installed many of those when I was a sprinkler fitter, and I know how to open them and close them, how they work. It's just an underground gate valve. But anyway, holy crap. Now, I'm soaked from the waist down. My jeans, everything, just absolutely soaked to the bone. I got it shut off, spin. Got it shut off. LEG just got back and I'm all soaked. And I'm like, well, that's great. How much more of this shit has to keep going on? First the motorhome won't start. Then Sheila damn near runs out into traffic to get run over and killed on the 4th of July weekend on us. And then the transmission and the brakes start messing around with us. And then we get out there and the goddamn hot water heater tank decides to explode all over me, piss all over me and soak me down so I can't go walking around anywhere. I'm soaked. It's the only pants I had. So anyway, I'm like, screw this. Screw this. So LEG put my pants on the table to dry in the sun, which doesn't take long in 90 degrees Fahrenheit with Florida sun beating on them. Not very long, a couple hours. So anyway, it's hot. I got the air conditioner set up full bore, set at 68 degrees to to compensate for the heat pounding down upon us, the sun blazing on us. We had a little bit of shade from a tree that was right next to us, but that was about it. So anyway, it's hot. So I'm sitting there and I decided I'm going to hook TV up, pick up TV signals, all that searching and stuff again. We got the TV going to a game show channel and we're watching Match Game 75. Now, I'm talking 1975. I watched this when I was 11 years old. I used to watch that show. So I'm like, cool, I don't remember this. So we're watching the networks, the game show network thing. And anyway, commercials, like every 3 minutes for some reason. But, oh no, it's not just a variety of commercials. It's the same 3 effing commercials. Every damn time in the same damn order. Absolute nightmare. So, every time a commercial would start, I'd be like, well, these same 3 commercials, mute the damn thing, and I would head out to what I call the front patio. It's a windowed-in patio with 2 very nice seats. The cab down in the cockpit. I would just open the curtains, go down in there, and sit in my driver's seat, look around, check out the nobody that's walking around. They're all in the campers because it's hot, and shit like that kind of stuff. So anyway, the rest of that day goes by. Not bad. I don't generally drink near as many beers when we're camping as I do here. So anyway, the day goes by. Nibble a little bit of dinner. When I was ready to go to bed, which was somewhere around 8:30 or so, right after it was just getting dark. And I'm like, screw this. Screw this. I'm just going to go try to get Tamara to come here. Well, we tossed and turned, both of us. She came to bed, I don't know, somewhere around 10. We tossed and turned and tossed. It always takes about 2 to 3 days to get used to sleeping in that weird-ass bedroom and bed set up in there. So anyway, shit night's sleep. I think we both but we both got about maybe 4 hours sleep at best. So the next day, it's bright and early, 5 o'clock in the morning. The dogs went out and all that stuff. So we get up. I go to get the coffee pot out. We've had this coffee pot for 8 years. So I get the box. It's just a little Black & Decker, like 6-cup coffee pot, a little glass coffee, You put the thing in the top, hot water goes through the filter, and old school, drip coffee pot, I guess. So I'm all like, yeah, we'll get this. You take the puppies out, I'll get the coffee going and stuff. So I get the box down out of the thing, got it over there by the dining room table, and I grab the top of the coffee maker, and generally when I stand it up, I slide it out, it just slides out and set down, and then I go from there. I picked it up, and the coffee pot goes, ka-choom, and explodes all over the table and the floor and the bench seats, and it's everywhere. Little shards of glass everywhere. Thin glass, coffee pot, paper thin glass. I'm like, well, that's effing great. So I got my vacuum cleaner that we decided to bring and vacuum the floor after we got there. Good thing, huh? It's like it knew. So I'm vacuuming. Don't let the dogs in. You stand out there in the hot. And, and I'm talking 5 o'clock in the morning. I think this was Saturday morning. And I think it was like 84 degrees Saturday morning already at 5 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, I got all the mess cleaned up. And of course, I'm still going to find glass for another 1.5 years easily. You know how that goes when glass shatters that small. It's everywhere. Little sprinkles, a little sunlight thing. What's that? That's glass. How did that get there? Oh, yeah. Nice reminders. So I got the mess cleaned up the best I could, tell and stuff. And then came making the bed. That thing is a monstrosity to try to make and all that. We're like, screw this. First night we kind of slapped the bed together, and that's a nightmare to get sheets over it because the mattress is too long. It's not a camping mattress, it's a regular house mattress. Sticks out over the bed by about 1.5 feet. When you're trying to get in and out of bed, fuck. Oh, I almost said it. So anyway, everything's there, and we tried to make bed. I get the Demeter made up and stuff. I got the great idea to use the coffee pot like one of them Keurigs that we have here. I just put my 1 scoop in the filter and put my cup under there, and I filled my cup up with our drinking water and poured it in the coffee pot, put my cup under there, and it brewed. It worked. I made me a cup of coffee. LED said, what about mine? I said, what about your coffee? I ain't making extra coffee. I got mine. No, I didn't. I told her how I done it. She said, oh, cool. So we just started making coffee that way. We're not going to look for a new coffee pot. It works great. So anyway, coffee's done. It's kind of an okay day. I think it was 98 Friday when we got there. I think Saturday it only got to 96. I think it was only 96 degrees and there was like a 15-mile-an-hour breeze. Air conditioner still, 68. Blazing down. Cold, best we can in that little vents and things. It's a motor home. Air conditioners don't work all that great. A single air, that thing should have been built with 2 air conditioners. Not just one, but they built it with one. Anyway, I'm sipping my beers in the afternoon. We're just sitting there watching these same 3 commercials. All day long. And these commercials aren't just like 30-second, buy Tim's roast beef. It's made with love. No. These are like infomercials. They're like 4 minutes long. Each one of them. Oh, same people, same lines, over and over through your head. It hurt. I kept running out to my front porch. And running up to the front porch. Sit there and watch the world go by. So anyway, we got tired of watching game shows that day. And by that night, bedtime. Go to bed. Second night, a little bit better. We got a little more comfortable. And Sunday, I took an extra sheet-like thing or Saturday, and made I'm getting days mixed up. What a weekend! I made a little fort out of the dining table and benches. I just draped it over there, so Sheila had a bomb shelter. You see. So anyway, that was cool. So anyway, Sunday is there. We make our coffee, and that's not going too bad. We've got suppers. The only thing we did was Sunday night for supper. We did Salisbury steak in the microwave. Just simple. I already had mashed potatoes. I made Erin brought with me, shit like that, and a can of corn. And the can opener's like, you think we're gonna open cans, the dog food cans, with the green beans for them and corn for you? Dude, I'm a Chinese presser twisty can opener. No, you have to go ka-choo. And it goes about that far. Ka-choo. Then you get it going and it just sits there and grinds. It doesn't do anything. That was a fun time. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh God. So Sunday goes by. I found this police old reruns of Las Vegas county jail in Las Vegas, Clark County show from back in the day. So we're watching that. Guess what the commercials were? The same effing 3 commercials back to back to back in the same effing order as the game show channel was. All day. Anyway, so Sunday makes it through to nighttime, and we finally got our dinner all settled in and whatnot. And we're noticing on the couch, it's like getting bit, like what the hell is that? What the little spiders and stuff? I'd seen a couple of spiders. I didn't bug bomb the motorhome before we left. Should have, that's my bad. So anyway, yeah, we're like, all day Sunday and stuff, and looking, and what the hell was that, So, Sunday afternoon or evening, LAG the mama, she looks down and she's in the bathroom. She looks down and sees a little line of ants going between from where the door shuts from the bathroom to the kitchen, from there to over and underneath, along the ledge of the bathroom sink cabinet, right? She says, we got ants in there running around. That's what keeps biting us and stuff. These little stupid ants and bugs and stuff. And I'm like, shit. So there's nothing I can do about it. We don't have spray or anything on hand. We have a bug bomb, but we can't do that because, it takes 2 hours to clear out and stuff. So it's like, fine. We got effing ants on the couch and in the freaking bathroom. We'll deal with it when we get home. Anyway, Sunday night comes up, right? It's 8:30. We're going to be leaving bright and early. I mean, get up. Don't worry about coffee. Unhook and drive home Monday. 4th of July done, right? So Sunday night shows up. I said, I'm going to bed. It's like 8:30 again. It's getting dark. There's a thunderstorm rolling past in the area. It rained where we was for a while, but thunderstorm was never really right over us, So, I go to bed. And I'm like laying there on my side of the bed, and I'm like, F. The sun was going around. LG Mom said, I'm going to come to bed too in about another hour or so. She wanted to finish watching Password Plus. So, I'm laying there. A couple minutes later, what the hell? A couple minutes later, I feel something crawling. Like, down my shoulder and into my beard. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm freaking out, and I reached up and turned on the light above the bed there, and looking around, you sons of bitches. By now it's like, I don't know, it's coming up right at 9. And I'm looking around, and sure enough, all along the top of the headboard of the bed, along the wall and the bed mattress and stuff, guess what? Them stupid ants had found their way into the bedroom and up on through around the bed. Shit. So I get pissed. I get up. I don't care. I ain't sleeping with ants. that are biting and climbing all over me all night. So I get up and sit down. I go out and sit back on the couch. Watch the goddamn game show. She said, what's wrong? I said, I ain't sleeping with the fucking ants. One's fine. Don't worry about it. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, they're in the bed now with us. They're biting and climbing all over me back there. Just like here on the couch. And she's like, you're kidding me. So she went back and she's looking around. She's like, like I'm crazy? I said, you think I'm crazy, woman? I show you crazy. Say hello to my little ant. And I pointed one out and said, there, that's an ant. See him moving? There's another one. There's another one. She's like, oh, God. I said, I'm not sleeping with him. I'll sit on that couch and watch TV all god dang night. And she said, you want to just pack up and leave now? And I said, I was hoping you would say that. Has not been a great camping weekend. Not horrible. Sunday went fairly decent till the ends. I'll give it that. Saturday, kind of, getting used to banging into each other and slamming each other in the middle of the back with the bathroom door while the other one's in the kitchen. Stuff like that. No, we don't have the tip-out things and stuff. We don't have any of that shit. Anyway, so here we are in pitch dark. LEG, the mom's got her phone flashlight because I don't have one in the motorhome that works. We're out there and I disconnect the power real quick and disconnect. We get the hose and everything, the water disconnected and put away. And the neighbor, I'm talking to him, he's talking to us, not sleeping with the goddamn ants. And he's like, we got ants in here yesterday. We had ants climbed up our damn water line and got in. And he said they had a nice Class 8, real nice, and nice older couple. And he said, yeah, I had to go into town and buy spray. And we sprayed them, and I haven't seen them since. He said, we're staying here, we're leaving Tuesday morning. I said, we were going to leave tomorrow morning, but we're leaving now. And it was really, really cool. He's like, have a nice trip, and just drive safe and be safe and stuff. And I'm like, have a good rest of your weekend. Really nice people. We talked for a couple of minutes and said, well, we've got to hit the road. We're out of here. Steam coming up off the roads because it had rained and it was hot all day and cooking the streets, the tar and the blacktop. So off we head into the darkness. We finally get out onto the highway, and it wasn't a horrible ride home, really. A few questionable calls by the telephone to say, turn left right here. And I'm like, why? This isn't how we came here. Go straight here. Stuff like that. But we finally got home right at about 11 o'clock at night. I just said, I'm not backing in the dark. I'm just going to pull in. We're shutting this bitch off. And we're going to unload necessities. Brushing teeth, our pillows, LEG, Mama's oxygen machine she uses at night. Just basics. The shit out of the fridge is coming in, and the freezer. Just the basics. So we're good there. And kicked on the air conditioner. We kept the house, the great room and kitchen. We kept the barn doors shut and this door shut. And we kept that room at 84 degrees. Thank God we did. We got in here. I came in here to piss. And I opened the man cave door over here. And it had to have been 100, 102 in here. Oh my God, it was hot. So I'm like, oh God. So I pissed real quick, shut the door on the way back out. Kicked up the air conditioner, kicked it down to like 72 in the great room to get it starting to cool off. I ran back and kicked on the bedroom air conditioner on high and turned that thing all the way up to 6 and turned on the fan. Assholes down the street, no sooner than we were pulling in, we're shooting goddamn fireworks. That's illegal on the 5th of July. And because Sunday was the 5th. Yesterday was the 5th. Saturday was the 4th. And we didn't have any fireworks, not even a sparkler. It was beautiful. So anyway, we get home. Sheila gets, no sooner than we get out of the motorhome and we're walking towards the front or towards the back door, I'm going to go in and turn on the back porch light and get lights on the house. We didn't have any lights on in the house. It was just pitch dark when we got home. So I'm working my way out. Like that. And I got the lights turned on. Then it's like, boom, and Sheila started getting ready to bolt. And we're like, no, it's okay, Sheila. Go to the back porch. You know, we're going to get your bomb shelter. And she took off and ran up, and her and the dingo ran up into the back porch. I got the lights on, let the doggies in, and we started commencing. Went back, and that's when opened the door in my closet, our closet bedroom, and let Sheila in her bomb shelter back there. And Dingo wasn't really too concerned. He was just walking around. The fireworks were down the street that way, probably, I don't know, a quarter mile, more closer to the end of our road. But they were still, there, and they were loud. Anyway, I'm unloading the motorhome. LAG calls the cops, the county sheriff's office, Santa Rosa County Sheriff. I told her, just look up the regular number, and eventually you'll hear something that's like a non-emergency or an inquiry or something like that. Just poke that button. It's, I think, 3 or 4. And it'll ring and you'll get a person. So she got a dispatcher, and lady that answered the phone and told her, there's people shooting fireworks. We just was camping out of town, I says. She was on speaker. Just because of fireworks, because, we got 2 dogs. They're absolutely terrified of fireworks. And said we was out of town in the country camping. And no fireworks. And I said, here we come home. And there's people shooting fireworks on the 5th of July, and that's illegal. She said, I'll send a deputy out that way, to cruise the street and see if he hears them. And we told him, it's 80-33, where we're at. But I said, it's coming on down from going towards Route 87 south. So they're that way, towards actual road, going down towards 87 south, where our road winds off. And she's like, okay, well, I'll send an officer that way to take a look and see if he hears anything. Oddly enough, we didn't hear any more. We heard maybe 2 more volleys of fireworks after that, and then nothing. So that was cool. And down here, you have the option that the cop can give your address. These people at this address called us, about you doing this, and we're like, no, we don't want to start any feuds. We all have guns on this street, We don't want to be the Hatfields and McCoys. So anyway, things quiet down finally, and it was probably 104 or so in the bedroom back there too, and it took that poor little air conditioner. It's like this one here, a little 5,000 BTU. A good, I don't know, hour and a half before it was kind of comfortable enough to relax. And LAG, the mom, and I laid in bed there from 11 o'clock till about 12:30 and watched a little bit of YouTube, and then turned off the TV finally when it started cooling off and went to sleep. And slept like the dead. Still didn't get enough sleep, but wow. This morning I got all showered up, got all slathered up with my psoriasis cream stuff that's supposed to hold me over. All that mess is still in the future I got to deal with. And the tooth, it's still here now. All that's got to get taken care of, and I'm working on it. It'll be done here pretty quick, soon enough, I hope. And that catches that up to right now. I'm getting ready to, I guess, jump back into subsistence for a little bit. See if I stay alive. Like that, run the beaches again, get some more fishing bait, try to work on getting some arrows, shit like that, more ammunition and all that. I know, I guess the crates respawn in the same spots, I don't know. And I have a theory I'll explain too. So anyway, I've babbled on along with 39 minutes now. Man, that's why I could be a good radio host. I could just keep going all day long on a talk show or whatever. All I need is a subject, and I'm off. Something I've experienced or have just gone through or whatnot. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. Go get yourself a cold one. You deserve it after all this babbling and hardship stories of sobbing on your shoulder. That wasn't that awful bad. It was just frustrating as hell. And the worst part was when when Sheila bolted, and I thought I was about to lose my best little buddy doggy, to getting hit in heavy traffic. That sucked. I was terrified. So was Ellie G the mama. So anyway, I'll catch you guys here shortly. Until the next time, folks, hit that like and subscribe. Peace out, people. Just peace out. Tune in next week. We'll talk about paranormal stuff or something. That sounds good. You can call in 505-5050. Yeah.